Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. And here we are once again around the breakfast table, around the water cooler, or even at your work. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. Thank you so much for being along with us. And we're going to be with you for the next hour. Hope that you can stay with us because we have a lot to talk about today. And if you're the first time watcher of this show, well, we're going to tell you what's going down with this show because all of our friends who've been with us for a very long time already know the protocol. So we want to introduce you the same way we introduced them so many years ago. As the host of the show, I get things started, get the conversation rolling, get things moving. And of course, while you're being entertained with all of that, at the same time, you can chime in at any time you want. You can talk back live to me and everyone else in this room. All you have to do is use your keyboard on your computer, on your tablet, or even your phone, or whatever devices that you have with a keyboard that can get in touch with us and you can view us. All you have to do is just do that. And when you do that, I will see you right there on the big screen. I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. You may have questions, or if you have a conversation that you want to just lay out there for the show for today, by all means, if there's any specific thing that you want to talk about, of course, we're open to that and we will listen to you and we will try to get that involved, and as many as we can for people who want to enjoy that part of the show. And in the show, of course, all of you joining us for the first time, we're on 3 different places. We have 3 different platforms we like to tell you about. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So any 3 of those will get you there. Wherever you're watching us right now, we thank you so much for being along with us. And for all of you who are watching us on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, you can communicate us either way. Now, let me tell you something about if you're watching us on Facebook, for instance, right? We want all of you to take the time out to tag your friends right now. If you have a certain amount of friends that you think may be interested in being involved in this program, tag them right now. When you tag them, they'll see that tag. They know it's from you. They're your friends. They trust you. They'll click onto that tag and it brings them directly to us. And they can communicate with us just like you. They'll type in whatever they want to talk about. They can talk to you. They can talk to me. They can talk to anyone that's in the room. And we'll have a lot of fun doing it. That's all you have to do. Just tag them. Do that right away, right now, while the show is young, while we're getting started. And if you're watching us, if you're watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you each week to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's just as simple as that. All you have to do is take your mouse, drag it over to where it says subscribe. You'll see it right there. Point the arrow there and click onto it. And that's all it takes. There's no money involved. It's free of charge. No special membership. No special notes from any one of your teachers, your parents, or anything. Of course, if you're 18, if you're under 18, maybe you should go home. All right. If you're under 18. Not that the show is for adults only. It's only because your parents want to monitor your travels through your internet, right? They want to monitor you wherever you go. So make sure you get permission from them because we're a family show. So we don't do any harm. We don't do any crazy things or anything embarrassing or explicit or anything. We're just a family show that anyone could be involved. It's just that we want to make sure that people under 18 get special permission from their parents. All right. I had to say that. And so the rest of you, you're joining us, click on. And by the way, when you click on to subscribe, right, for YouTube, it gives you a chance to know whenever we come on live, now that you already have done it, whenever we come on live from here on in, you'll get a notification that'll pop up just in case you forget about the shows coming on the air live. A notification pops up. All you have to do is click the notification and it brings you right again to the Facebook page or my YouTube channel, right? It brings you right there. And those of you who are watching us there, the rest of you who are watching us, understand the same thing. It's the same thing for you. You know, you come in and you subscribe. And even if we post a video, so much as a video, we post a video, you'll get that notification too. And again, all you have to do is just click onto that notification and boop, you're right there at the YouTube channel. No problems with that. And for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, well, what can I tell you? You don't have to do anything special. Nothing special. All you have to do is just sit back, relax. And while you're sitting back, relaxing, get on the horn or some kind of communicative form that you can get out to your family and friends and let them know, keep the word percolating that we're on the air and bring them all out here, family, friends, relatives, all people like that. And of course, you know, we'll be a happy camper because the more the merrier. You know, you help us out that way, the more the merrier. And for those of you who've been around forever, thank you so much. I needn't tell you we're eternally grateful for your support. Okay, I want to say hello to Warren. Good morning. There he is right there out of Greensboro, North Carolina. And of course, Warren, thank you so much for being along with us. And those of you like Warren who are going to be here, and if you're going to indulge in conversation and you want me to acknowledge you, I always like to do that. I always like to do that because it's a personal thing, you know. But a lot of people rather sit back and relax. Some people rather sit back and relax and not say anything and just enjoy the show. That's okay too. But always keep in mind that I always like to greet you personally. But if it's your choice to sit back and just enjoy the show, that's okay. But for those of you who are going to indulge in conversation with us, one thing I want to ask you to do, it's not mandatory. I'm only asking, you know, if you would give us your weather forecast. It doesn't have to be a full-blown weather forecast, but we just want to get an idea of what it's like in your area, around the world and across the country, because you may be in different places. Like here I am on the East Coast in New York City, because that's where I originate, and my weather may be different from yours, so I just want to compare notes. Now, they got partly cloudy skies in Greensboro, North Carolina right now, where Warren is. He's got 61 degrees presently, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go up and up. But we'll see about that because in certain places, temperatures stay warmer than others. And we had a yo-yo effect here in New York. Temperatures go up and down. It's pretty nice today. And we're going to give you our weather forecast. For those of you who live in the New York City area, in the vicinity of New York City, don't you worry about that. Don't worry about it at all. You know why? Because I'm going to take care of that. But for the rest of you guys, no matter where you are around the world, out of the country, out of the city, out of the state, whatever, you know, we're worldwide, we're global. If you're under the sound of my voice and you could see me, take the time to give us your weather forecast and talk to us because we would love to talk to you. We've got so many things hanging on. So remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the coffee hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or any other publication or social media outlet. And by the way, in conjunction with this show, we have a lot of things going on too. We have sports coming up. I don't think Brian is going to be with us today, but we're going to take care of that. Sports update, the latest developments in today's world of sports. We usually come on and link up with each other. He comes out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and but he won't be here today, so we will take care of that today. Also, later on in the program, I have movies, okay? For all of you people who like classic movies and want to spend part of your weekend catching up on movies that you haven't seen in a long time, well, I have my picks of the week directly from Turner Classic Movies, and I just want to, you know, bring those to you, convey those to you later on in the program as we progress. Because I think you're going to like some of the movies that I have for you. I have quite a few, and I'm going to take the time towards the end of the program to give them all to you. So all of that is coming up. And so with all that being said, we take everything. We've got everything going. Did I miss anything? I hope not. If not, I'll continue it. But right now, I want to take time to lift up our cups, our glasses, whatever beverages you may have, your coffee, your tea, or whatever it is, and raise them and salute and Giantani, which means if you live 100 years, that would be great in Italian. But anyway, excuse me while I shoot up. That's great. That's marvelous. I hope you're enjoying yours. The weekend is right around the corner. Safely to say, once you get by today, you'll be intact for the weekend. That's all coming up. Now, those of you who may be at work right now, you may be on your coffee break. Let's say, for instance, if you're in the same time zone I am, it's after 10 o'clock here in New York. And if you happen to be in that same time zone, Warren has a Bloody Mary. Is there any end to that? That's okay. It's the coffee hour. That doesn't mean you don't have to, you can have a Bloody Mary if you want, that's okay too. Or whatever your choice is. It's good. Just enjoy it. But what I was getting ready to say, ladies and gentlemen, Bloody Mary, she's the one I love. Okay. Bloody Mary is the one I love. Ain't that too damn bad? From the musical South Pacific, in case you didn't know that. Okay, what I was going to say, if you're at work, and let's say, for instance, if you're in the same time zone I am, I'm in Eastern, and it's after 10 o'clock here, you may be at work, and this may be the time you may be at your coffee hour. All right, and of course, if you're at your coffee hour, you get that 15-minute break. Instead of roaming around and talking to your coworkers, because you have plenty of time to do that all during the week and all during the day while you're at work, take time and stay at your computer and watch the show and sip your coffee at the same time. And when the coffee hour is over for you, the coffee break is over for you, then you could stay at your computer because you'll be there anyway. And then you can go back to work and you can do what they call multitasking, working and watching the show at the same time. And those of you who are around the water cooler talking about what happened last night, forget about it. Get back to your desk. You can't stay around there all day. Anyway, wherever you are, wherever you may be, thank you so much for joining in, and we really appreciate your company. And again, if you want to join in, please, at any time you want. If you have anything in particular to talk about, anytime you want, we'll talk about it. We are in the midst, of course, this is November. And right now we are in the November, we're celebrating Native American Heritage Month, all right? And I'm really partial to that because I have a Native American background, so I'm so proud of that. And it's not because I'm telling you this, but this is what it is. It's Native American Heritage Month. It's been a long time coming. It's about time we celebrate it. And we are celebrating our people who have been here long before us, who have settled in this country long before us. And we're just taking the time out to celebrate this month, Native American Heritage Month. And I'm pretty sure during the whole month of November, there are things to learn about the Native Americans, get to know them, and get to find out, how they settled here and all kinds of history. It's all available. You can go to your public library. You can even go on Google and check it out. There are places on Facebook where they have Facebook pages for Native Americans. All right. You can go there and check it out. You'll get the photos there. And I'm pretty sure they have a lot of things you can talk about. I'm pretty sure since it's Facebook, you may have group discussions sometimes. We have group discussions all the time on Facebook. A lot of people do that, and you may have that on there. You can check it out. But if not, you could also Google and find out other means and how the Native Americans lived in those days when they were here. When were they put on the reservations and things like that? And we still have Native Americans in our midst here in America now as we speak more and more now. And I'm glad to see that. So that's what we're celebrating right now, Native American Month, right through the whole month of November. If you haven't gotten your flu shots yet, you might as well make it up in your mind to do it. I mean, it's like you should have done it a long time ago. And so what I want you to do is get to do it right now. You can go to your favorite pharmacist and get the shot. I don't know if you could just like walk in there and say, I just want a shot right away. Or maybe, depending on where you live, maybe you're able to do that. But if not, you could also make an appointment online or even on the premises and say, you know, you want to get the flu shot right away, and they'll make the appointment for you. And once you make that appointment, keep that appointment. And so if you haven't done that, please get a chance to do that. Another thing you ought to do too is make sure you get your updated COVID-19 shot. All right, that's available now. And all you have to do again is go to your favorite pharmacist and ask them. And again, you may have to make an appointment. Just do it and keep the appointment. And I may add too that you can take both shots at the same time on the same day. And that's the flu shot and the COVID shot at the same time. In the same arm, you're asking me if it's in the same arm or not? I don't know. I don't know. I guess you have to speak to the pharmacist and they can tell you what's best, but you could take those shots together. And once you get them all out of the way, that would be great. So if you make the appointment for one, if you desire to do that, make the appointment, that one appointment, and get 2 shots. If you desire to do that, you can do that. But if you're like me, you want to take it, maybe 1 shot at one time, and then maybe a week or 2 later, take the other shot. But make sure you do it before the weather gets too cold and too cold enough for you to get the cold and the flu and all of that. And people are still, by the way, wearing their mask, believe it or not. You know, even though that there are places, or there are not places, it's not mandatory to go in public places, but people are being on the safe side. And I can't say I'm angry with them to do that. They're being on the safe side. They're going in public places, riding the buses and the subways with their mask on. I've seen people in the gym. I go to the gym. They come in with their mask on and they work out with their mask on in the gym. I don't see how that's possible, because you do, when you're working out, you're producing a lot of wind and that in and out, and you have the mask covering you. I think it's safe to work out without your mask. But listen, again, if that's comfortable for you, that's great. You know, but make sure you get those shots. They're very important. It's important to me, as it should be to you, you know, to get these shots. They're available again, and all you have to do is go to your pharmacist and just make the appointment, whether or not you can do it live right there, right on the premises while you're there, or you can do it online. They'll tell you what to do. They'll tell you what the protocol is on how to do it. But the most important thing is to do it. And once you have done it, it's all cleared out of the way. You don't have to worry about the shots until next season. Now, I know, of course, we already know that the flu shot is seasonal. It's every season at this time. It's available. I don't know how it's going to be for the COVID shot. That may be seasonal, but we don't see far in the future with that just yet. But you stay on top of that, and make sure that you're proactive and stay updated on all of your flus, the flu shot and COVID shots. Just stay updated on that. I've got some good news for you. Biden signed the bill to avert the government strike. I mentioned this on the show last night, that he had signed that bill. And so we don't have to worry about it, at least for another month or 2. Okay, because that's the news that I got too as well. I mentioned that last night on the show. I didn't know whether or not this was just like temporary, but I understand that the signing of the bill just buys us a little more time, and up until maybe about a month or 2. And then we'll see what happens then. They'll let us know whether or not money or the funds will run out at that particular time. But I hope, you know, they come up with something really stable. But right now, the good news is that you don't have to worry about it now. All of you who have to visit your government outlets, your buildings and all of that, it's all open. Those people who are working for the government, they're getting their paychecks. And as far as your travel is concerned, I know next week is Thanksgiving. A lot of you are going to be doing some flying, traveling. You don't have to worry about that, because all of the people who work on the airlines and in the airlines, such as your air traffic controllers, you know, which is, you know, funded by the government, they're not going to be shut down. So it's going to be good. Because I was worried about that for a time, that people, we know that at this particular time, the holiday, and people want to fly. And if we had closed this government, which would have been today, Friday would have been today, if we had closed the government, then a lot of things would have been shut down. And that would affect your airline flights. But it's good to know that it's all over, at least for the time being. And we'll cross the rest of the bridge when we get there to see what's happening. Okay, in case you're just joining us, it's now 20 minutes past the hour. It's the coffee hour. And we're going to be here until the top of the next hour. And of course, we hope that you stay with us. Brian Camp is not with us today because he's usually with us and usually bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. But he's taking care of a little business. So we're going to fill in for him today. We've got sports coming up. So let's get started with that right away. Let's start off with Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball owners voted unanimously to allow the Oakland Athletics to move to Las Vegas. Right? They're moving to Las Vegas. We're losing teams right now. And paving the way for the second relocation of a baseball team in the past half century. The potential move, which comes after more than 2 decades of failed effort to secure a new stadium for the city to replace the aging Oakland Coliseum, needed backing from 3/4 of the team and the quarterly owners meeting. Also, Major League Baseball will play its 2025th All-Star game in Atlanta 4 years after moving the game from Truist Park to Denver Core Field over objections to changes in Georgia's voting rights. And on this day, November 17th, back in 1884, police arrested boxer John Sullivan in his second round for being cruel. I don't get that. I didn't know you couldn't be cruel in a boxing ring. However, in 1959, Syracuse fullback Jim Brown scores NCAA record of 43 points. In 1959, San Francisco Giants Willie McCovey wins Rookie of the Year. In 1981, New York Knicks Bill Cartwright ties the record of 1919 free throws. And in 1987, George Bell is the first Blue Jay ever to win an AL MVP. Birthdays in 1945, Jim Bohannon of the NCAA, and he was a Hall of Fame coach. He was born in Lyons, New York. Also in 1944, Tom Seaver, also a Hall of Famer and a Cy Young Award winner, was born in Fresno, California. In 1945, Elvin Hayes, the NBA forward, he is a Hall of Famer. He was born in Rayville, Louisiana. The Buffalo Sabres will be without Tage Thompson for a month, if longer, after the top center had got a shot off of his left wrist. Coach Don Granato didn't reveal the extreme nature of the injury in providing the update following practice on Wednesday. And Thompson was injured a day earlier when he blocked the Boston defense Charlie McAvoy's shot midway through the second period of a 5-2 loss to the Bruins. And Rudy Gobert, if I'm pronouncing his name right, well, he didn't claim victim when he spoke to reporters following the Minnesota Timberwolves 104-101 win over the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday. Instead, the 7-footer hit Draymond Green with a verbal jab, and Green was ejected for putting Gobert in a headlock early in the first quarter, and before either team scored a bucket. And Green is likely to receive a multi-game suspension from the NBA, and that decision will determine through a view of the videos from the incident and, of course, interviews. Deshaun Watson's season is over once again, leaving the Cleveland Browns without a franchise quarterback. Watson will miss the rest of the second year with Cleveland after sustaining a fracture in his throwing shoulder, an injury that came during the best performance since joining the team and the controversial trade of 2022. Watson will undergo surgery to repair the fractured shoulder, which happened during Sunday 33-31 win in Baltimore on an unspecified hit the second quarter. The team said the MIR revealed displaced fracture on the glenoid. Let's be real about this. It's the groin. Okay. Okay. Now we have things going on. We're moving right along, and we see that Garrett Cole finally entered the Cy Young Award winner's circle on Wednesday night. The moment that seems inevitable after baseball's best paid pitcher produced a half dozen top five finishes since 2015. And more unexpected, Blake Snell joining the fraternity of winners in both leagues after the challenging season that he had since claiming his first trophy in 2018. But the inevitable and the unlikely collided Wednesday when Cole and the New York Yankees ace, was unanimously named the American League Cy Young Award winner, while Snell added the National League honor to the AL trophy he won in 2018 with the Tampa Rays. And after a brutal ending of her playing career, Megan Rapinoe started her retirement 1-0. The former OL Reign and U.S. Women's National Team star underwent a successful surgery led by Dr. Martin O'Malley to repair her torn ligament or her tendon. And that happened on Wednesday, and will immediately begin her recovery process in retirement. Rapinoe provided a video on her Instagram and showing her resting at home under the care of her partner, former WNBA Sue Bird. And we wish her well, and we wish her, all the people are getting injured in these places and in sports. You know, it's a tough thing to do, especially if you like it, when you're doing well in it and you start. Anyway, that's it in sports. Anyway, we want to thank Brian for all of that information, for giving us that information. We'll catch Brian back here in 2 weeks because, by the way, we're not going to be on the air next week because of the holiday. We'll tell you more about that when the show moves on. Excuse me again while I shoot up. Thank you for being along with us. If you're just joining us at this particular time, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And we get together each week at this time. And of course, we have all of you guys with us. We want to say hello to Fred Lee. Now, Fred Lee goes back a long way with me. Childhood days, Fred Lee. Thank you, Fred Lee. I think, Fred Lee, your first time joining us, right? Well, we thank you so much for being with us. And of course, Fred Lee lives in New York, so he doesn't have to worry about the weather forecast, because we always talk about the weather forecast. We share weather forecasts, right? We share the weather forecast. Warren already gave us his, and his weather forecast is he's got partly cloudy skies over there in North Carolina, in Greensboro, North Carolina. He's got 61 degrees presently. So I'm going to give you my weather forecast right now. And for those of you who live in the New York area, you don't have to worry about it because I'm taking care of that. You dodged a bullet. But for the rest of you who are going to join us, please, take the time and give us your weather forecast so we can compare notes. It doesn't have to be a full-blown weather forecast, just a little synopsis of weather, whatever it is. But I'm going to give you my full-blooded weather forecast, full-blown weather forecast too. And it looks like this today. We got 60 degrees presently, and it's going to be partly cloudy skies this morning, and we'll be becoming overcast during the afternoon. We'll have a high around 66 degrees. Winds will be south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Friday, Friday night, that's tonight, we're going to be cloudy skies this evening. A few showers developing late, and we'll have a low around 55 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain will be 40%. It's going to be a little shaky start for the morning of Saturday, right? Cloudy skies early, becoming mostly sunny later in the day, though. In the afternoon, we'll have a high around 58 degrees, and winds will be north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So you can put away your umbrella at this particular point, because even Saturday night, it's going to be mostly clear. We'll have a low around 40 degrees. Winds will be west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And we look forward to Sunday as we wrap up everything and we enter a new week, go back to work, but you only have to go back for 3 days because it's going to be a long holiday weekend next weekend. But it looks good. It's going to be mostly sunny for Sunday. We'll have a high around 55 degrees. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And repeating our current temperature here in New York City, we've got 60 degrees and even 60 degrees outdoors. And so we have that yo-yo effect with our weather. It goes up, it goes down. We don't know where it goes. And that's why I always say, you know, when I was talking earlier about taking your flu shots, that's one of the reasons why you should get on it very early when the season comes around. When you have to take it, get on it early, because you know the weather is not always as stable as it used to be. When December came around, believe me, it would be cold and snowy and all of that, you know, and we blame it on the climate. I guess they call it the climate. We have different kinds of climate. And depending on where you live, it could be warm, it could be hot, you know, whatever it is, you know. But if you're living in a 4-season zone, like here in New York City, you have 4 seasons, right? But if you in the area at this particular time when the weather is yo-yo, it's cold, it's hot, you don't know how to dress sometimes, you know, that flu shot comes in handy. I don't guarantee you won't get a little cold or a sniffle or a sneeze every once in a while, but it helps. It helps, you know, depress it. So, or suppress it, I should say. Suppress, depress, suppress, right? And so that's why I always say it's important to take your flu shot. So do that. Okay, here we are, and we've got things coming along. We're going to give you information. We have our entertainment report coming up pretty soon. We'll tell you more about that later. And as I said, just in case you're just joining us, all of you, later on we have movies that I always like to give to you because I have my picks of the week from Turner Classic Movies. Now, a lot of things are going to be happening over the weekend. And of course, you know, the weekend, of course, is going to be, is one of those weekends where you do what you want to do, right? And not what the boss tells you to do, right? You have all of that to contend with when you get back to work. And one of the things that you might want to do is check out some great movies. And of course, we have those for you. So I have my picks of the week that's coming up later on in the program. And Thanksgiving holiday, as I mentioned, is coming around, and a lot of people are gearing up for that. You can go out and travel. The airlines are going to be okay because we're not going to be into this government shutdown, as I mentioned earlier. So you can do that. And a lot of people will be traveling, and I think it's going to be really crowded. I mean, trains and planes, it's all going to be crowded. Everybody is just kicking out. And for those of you who are going to do the staycation at home, you want to stay at home and invite family and friends, that's a good time to do that too. Or you visit some of your families and friends locally, wherever you may be. That's a good thing too. But all of that is coming up, and we're looking forward to it. And it only seems like these holidays came so quick, you know. And before you know it, after all of that is over, we'll still be in a holiday mood, because then after the Thanksgiving holiday is over, then everybody's going to be gearing up for Christmas. That's coming up. People are going to be going out there and they're going to be getting their Christmas gifts. I don't know if you're in a position to do that these days. Everything is high, sky high there. But you never know. So whatever you're going to do, take it in stride. You know, Bruce Williams, how you doing? He says, hello, it's Bruce. I see your name right there, of course. Bruce Williams, Bruce and I used to work together in radio, and so there he is. I've been meaning to call him. Bruce, I'm going to call you because I have something to tell you anyway. So thank you for joining me. Bruce is joining us for the first time, and Bruce is watching us on Facebook. So is Fred Lee. He's watching us on Facebook. And of course, we have some people on Instagram, and Warren is out there on Facebook, all of us together. So we thank you all for being involved with us, and hope that you tell your family and friends about it. As I always say, it's always a good thing to do that, because as I always say, the more, the merrier. So the more of you people out there, the merrier we can be. All right. And of course, you know, looking in the news, of course, we have a lot of news available. I'm not particularly a news guy, although I do keep up with the news. But I just like to do that, but I don't like to report it as much. The only time I really did that was when I was working at this station in Jersey, and I was hired to be a news anchor. So I did that. But we talk about it too. And anything else you want to talk about, anything else that you want to get into, we can talk about it right here. It's a matter of just getting out there and being proactive and say, hey, I want to talk about this and that and all kinds of other things. But we're going to talk because a lot of you like to talk politics. I know. I'm not really a politics kind of guy. I don't really get into that often, except if it makes me angry, then I have a lot to talk about. And lately it's been making me angry, which is one of the reasons why, ladies and gentlemen, I watch the news. As I said, I keep up with it as much as I can, and I watch it. The only time I don't watch the news is on the weekends. And I'll tell you why. Is because with all the aggravating news that takes place throughout the week, and we all already know what that news is all about, all of that takes place throughout the week. I want to get away from it all on the weekends. And so with that, I just tune everything out. So I just replace the news with maybe Comedy Central or cartoons or something, anything that would get away from the news. Because basically, the only time I get my news is, let's say, everyone has a telephone, right? And you'll get a news pop up and you may read something, but I'm not going to sit there and actually watch CNN and MSNBC, or for those of you who desire Fox, you know, sit down and watch that. I don't know if you would call that news. Some people call it a lot of things other than news. They may call it propaganda or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. And whatever choice of a news outlet that you prefer to watch, that's good. And I prefer to watch, you know, some of the ones I just mentioned, except for Fox. I don't know. That's not Fox News. I don't know. We got to find another name for that, because that's not Fox News. But anyway, the other news, maybe it's your local news or the network news. I put it all the way on the weekends. I put it all the way on the weekends, because it's not. It's sometimes it's aggravating, and of course you heard about all of the things that are going on, which we're going to talk about later. Some of the aggravating sources that happened during the week that are happening now, and you could spend a lifetime, I mean a real lifetime, talking about it. I mean, it's just so much lifetime. It makes you so angry. Let's see, Bruce is asking me, are you still the ring-a-ding? Yeah, I'm still the ring-a-ding kid. Yes, Bruce, I am still the ring-a-ding kid. And here we go. Still the ring-a-ding kid. And ring-a-ding-ding to all of you out there who are watching, just in case you're watching. The name of the show is not Ring-a-Ding-Ding, but it's the coffee hour. So we have a little coffee and a little ring-a-ding-ding. And so excuse me just for a minute while I shoot up. That's great. That's great. By the way, Bruce is in here with me. He's a news anchor. He's a news anchor too. So he knows more about this than I do, because he stays up on top of it more than I do. So he does news anchoring. As a matter of fact, when we were working together, he was anchoring the news and I was engineering his news, you know. And one of the things about radio, you can be diverse, you know. And for people who are out there who wanting to get into radio, let me just remind you that it's not as easy as it was before. It's not as easy as it was before. And even then it wasn't easy, but it gets even more difficult along the way. But if you have the drive and you want to get the know-how before you get the drive. You got to get the know-how, because if you don't know how, then you're not going to get into it. But if you have the drive and you really want to do it, you can do it. And my advice to you, if you do it, don't make sure that they don't typecast you. You know, a lot of people try to typecast you. In other words, if you could do more than one thing, if you're good at it, and you want to do something else later on down the road within the company that you're in, and they say, oh no, you're good at news, or you're good at doing this, or good at doing that. Yeah, but I can do this too. Just let me go forth with it. Just go out and just show your wares. Your wares, not your underwears, your wares, right? And just let them know that you're more than just who you're being hired to do. Because a lot of people do that. They get into the business and they're hired for one thing, but they later on they show their boss, their company people, that they could do more than that. You know. Anyway. Okay, we're gonna move right along because I have a little entertainment news. It's short, it's brief, but we're gonna get down to it right now. And I always like to bring you great entertainment news. Now, I'm good at entertainment because that's my field. You know, once a radio disc jockey, always a radio disc jockey, they say. I don't know. Anyway, here's what we got entertainment this week. Actress, the late Gina Lollobrigida, her personal assistant, is reportedly given 3-year sentence for stealing millions of the Hollywood actress before her death in January. A court in Rome ruled that Monday that his name is Andrea Piazzoli, 36 years old, must immediately hand over more than $482 million to Lollobrigida's son, Milky, if I can pronounce this right, Sofik, Milky Sofik Jr. And the court has ruled that the civil judge would also assess the total amount of Piazzolla that stole from Lollobrigida, and the amount would be $5.36 million. He has to pay all of that back into her estate or to her son. Kelly Clarkson will be under the Christmas tree this year, this holiday season, literally. And now we're getting to look at some of the other musical guests who will be appearing. And the singer and the daytime talk show host will host the annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony at Rockefeller Center. The 2-hour show will air on NBC and Peacock on November 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Robert Downey Jr. will receive the Moulton Modern Master Award at the 39th Annual Santa Barbara International Film Festival, the highest accolade given to the festival. And he will be honored in a ceremony scheduled for February 9th. And the ceremony involves an in-person conversation with Downey and filmmaker historian Leonard Maltin. Everybody know who he is. And they will discuss Downey's expansive career from the start of his career in the industry to the recent performance as Louis Strauss in the Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. And Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group has entered into a new co-financing pact with Domain Capital, a multi-year arrangement that will focus on the studio's historical slate, I should say. And last year, the Atlanta-based Domain, where are we? Oh, okay, the Domain announced $7 million in financial differences, and that goes to entertainment and media, and it already affects the Warner Brothers kickoff with the participation of the company record-breaking hit Barbie, which, by the way, earned $1.4 billion at a global box office. And finally, here's something that you may know about or may not know about, singer Bobby Storms. You ever heard of her? She's a gospel singer, and I think maybe an R&B singer as well, attempted to sing on a Delta flight and nearly costing her ineligibility to stay on the plane, prompted the latest debate on the internet. Now, there was a clip that she put on her, I think it was Facebook. It was either Facebook or maybe it was one of those outlets. Anyway, she posted a clip that showed that when she was walking through the aisle on the airline, she went back to her seat and she was talking to the people on the airline, all of the people on the airline while she was taking the flight. And they were telling her, she was telling the people that was on the flight that she was up for 2 Grammy Awards, all right? And she wanted to sing the song, but one of the airline people came over there to her and told her that she either had to shut up or she had to leave the plane. And it's on the video, and if I can remember closely, it was on TikTok. If you go on TikTok and look for Bobby Storms on TikTok, and you see the full video right there. But anyway, we tried to get in touch with Bobby because I thought this made a good story, but none of her people or herself contacted us. So, you know, we just wanted to let you know about that. But that would have been a fascinating interview if we had her on today. But that's what happened. Okay, we have birthdays today. RuPaul is celebrating a birthday today. He's 63 years old. The late Yolanda King, the daughter of Martin Luther King Jr., she would have been 68 years old today. Dean Paul Martin, the son of Dean Martin, would have been 72 today. Actor Danny DeVito is 79. And film director Martin Scorsese is 81 years old today. The late Gordon Lightfoot would have been 85 years old today. And the late Rock Hudson would have been 98 years old today. And those are the birthdays that we have. And we say happy birthday to them. We say happy birthday to you, just in case you may be celebrating a birthday. If you're celebrating a birthday, we want to say happy birthday to you. And many happy returns of the day, as they would say. And again, those of you who are just chiming in, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're going to be with you till the top of the hour. We thank you so much for being along with us. And those of you, by the way, who want to get in touch with me, I have 2 outlets that you can do. I have an email address and a telephone number I just like to convey to you, and just get with it. And it doesn't take long. Let me give you the email address first. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. That's frankallanprod@AOL.com. frankallanprod@AOL.com. And Prod is spelled P-R-O-D. That's short for Productions. And the telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Should you desire to get in contact with us for any reason, and your reasons could be anything from just saying hi, because we read that too, or if you want to critique, talk about the show, maybe critique it, or maybe have ideas for the show, and we would listen to you. We're all ears, you know, and you could critique with thick skin around here. We don't mind, just as long as you're diplomatic about it. That's all we ask. And you can do that. And so we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, which means we never close. You can email us anytime you want. You can phone us anytime you want. And that would be great. And give us your opinion. You can leave a message if you call. And we'd love to hear from you. Because a lot of you guys, if you watch the show, you don't want to indulge in conversation. You just want to sit back and relax the show. That's okay too. But for the purpose of getting in touch with me personally, and you can talk about anything you want to talk about, and we will get back to you on that. So let me give you that email address again, frankallanprod@AOL.com. That's frankallanprod@AOL.com. The telephone number again is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. We look forward to hearing from you. All of the aggravating sources I was telling you about earlier in the news, you know, we talk about it, and sometimes we don't like to talk about it because it gets a little crazy. one of the things, I don't know if you're happy about this or sad about this, but True Social, aka Lie Social, any way you want to phrase it, whatever you want to call it, we already know that's owned by, in this show, just in case you're new to the show, we say 345/666 Beast Incarnate. You know him as Donald Trump, all right? But we gave him that name because we don't like to mention his name around here. 345/666 Beast Incarnate is Truth Social, Lie Social Media, lost $31.6 million during the launch in early this year. All of that money he lost. So he may be forced to close that down. They may have to go back to Twitter or X, as they call it. You know, I don't know what they really want to call it. It's kind of confusing right now. I used to be a member of Twitter. I canceled that when the controversy came down on Twitter, and when Elon Musk purchased it for $44 billion. That was his purchasing price, $44 billion. I don't know if he's sorry he ever made that move, because now they say that X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, is worth half that now. He purchased $44 billion and it's worth half that now. So I don't know how he's going to go with this. My prediction is that, you know, with the confusion of everything moving from Twitter to X, you know, and all of these other controversial social media outlets who spew all of these lies and all of these things that offend people, you know, maybe out. And Truth Social, I don't care about, because that's Truth Social to me is like a how would I phrase it? A five and dime outlet, you know. That's the way I look at it. He no longer wanted to go with Twitter, so he created his own, and now that's failing, and he may have to go back to that, which is also failing, and we'll see. But he's crazy. And we look at Fani Willis, who's conducting all of these Trump. He's in court with her. Now she's predicting. Remember earlier, they said that they're going to try to get this, speed up this whole process and find out more about what's happening. And he's going to wind up in jail anyway. But Fani Willis says now the trial may drag on to 2025. Okay, now keep in mind that we elect a new president in 2024, November 2024. And we already know that 345/666 Beast Incarnate has his hat in the ring. And he's trying to get this delay going, delay. He's even asking Letitia James in New York. You know, he has to go to New York every once in a while. He's asking Tisha James to throw that out of the court. All right. Hung jury or anything. He wants it completely out of the court. And she's not having it. She's not even paying attention to it. So that goes on. And then we have the George Santos situation, which now he says that he's not going to rerun for his office. As a matter of fact, they're looking forward to even putting him out even before he decides to go out of office after his term is over. And it's a whole different thing going on. And Republicans are like really in a rut right now, because you've heard about the situation with Mark Wayne Mullen. They almost went blow to blows over there. He almost went blow to blows with the Teamster, Sean O'Brien. And it was over a Twitter fight, you know. And what he wrote on Twitter, he said, quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where I am, anytime, any place, cowboy. And then when they finally met in the chambers or wherever they were in the U.S. Capitol, on the floor of the U.S. Capitol, and you probably saw the footage, it was right there. And he confronted him and he says, hey, well, you want to do this right now? He says, sure, we'll do it right now. He says, stand your butt up. He says, no, you stand your butt up. And he got up, took off his ring and got ready to go out there. But thank God we had a father figure there. We had someone with maturity there. Bernie Sanders was there and he stopped it. He says, okay, no, enough is enough. Stop it, stop it, stop it. You're a U.S. Senator, you know? And so I like to rag on the Republican Party because they're like babies. I also rag on the Democratic Party, but when they get out of line, I get on both of them too. But it seems to me like the Democratic Party is a losing team right now. You know, they finally have their speaker. You know, MAGA Mike Johnson. They have him, but you know they're going to get rid of him too. Believe me when I tell you. I don't know if you agree with me on all of this. And as far as Donald Trump is concerned, first of all, we talk about if you saw the debate with all the front runner Donald Trump, right? He's not going to be at the debate. He's not going to even be at the next debate, which is going to take place December 6th. He's not going to be there either. But my prediction is that he's not going to make it. And the people that is following him, like DeSantis and all of the other runners there, they're not going to make it. They'll never be president. I think what's going to happen is I think Joe Biden is going to run again. They're going to run. It's going to be Trump and Biden is going to beat him. And this is going to be a whole big mess because now they're going to say, well, you know something, it was a rigged system. And they're going to do it all over again. And we're going to relive everything all over again. So can you see why I don't watch the news on the weekend? Because all of this comes back, everything recycles. It's nothing that I'm going to miss. And if I miss anything, I will find out on Monday when I decide to go back turning on the news once again. And so when we have this short weekend that's coming up, this short week that's coming up, because Thanksgiving holiday is coming around, when we have that short week coming up, I will not be watching the news for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 4 big days of no news because it's a holiday, it's a weekend, and I don't want to hear it. But this is what I want you to hear. The movies that I have for you that's coming up this weekend. My picks of the week directly from Turner Classic Movies. The weekend is coming up. It's true. And a lot of you may want to catch up on a lot of things. One of the things that you may want to catch up is the movies that are taking place. And I have 6 picks of the week this weekend for you to watch, to add to your bucket list of what to watch this weekend. So let me get it going right now. The movies. Here we go. Taxi Driver. Remember? You talking to me? I'm the only one over here. That's with Robert De Niro. That's the movie, Taxi Driver. Robert De Niro, Jodie Foster, and Sybil Shepherd. That's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Friday. That's tonight, 11:45 p.m. Eastern. Also, here's a classic movie that I like and I've seen so many times before. It's called DOA, 1949, with Edmund O'Brien, Pamela Britton, and Luther Adler. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Horror movies you like? Here's one, The Invisible Man, 1933, Claude Rains, Gloria Stewart, and Henry Travis. That's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out. That's Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Good time for horror movies. Saturdays is a great time for horror movies. Dress to Kill from 1980, Michael Caine and Angie Dickinson and Nancy Allan on Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 1:45 a.m. So if you're not up, you can always DVR them. Check them out then. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf from 1966, Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton, and George Segal. That's Turner Classic Movies at 1:15 p.m. Eastern. And finally, here's a good classic, Carmen Jones, 1954, Dorothy Dandridge, Harry Belafonte, and Pearl Bailey. Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Check out all of these movies. If you don't get a chance to watch them in real time, by all means, DVR them and watch them at your own time convenient. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here, but let me tell you something. We're not going to be here next week. We're going to shut down shop for next week, and I'll tell you why. It's because of the holiday weekend. So therefore, we are going to, in that place, have a flashback, a coffee hour flashback, right? And that's from a previous program that you'll get a chance to see. I'll have that for you, but we're going to be taking off next weekend. We will be back Not next Thursday, but the following Thursday on Talkback Live. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 2 weeks from now. Talkback Live. And Brian Camp will be here with the latest developments of today's world of sports on Sports Update. And I hope you will be here too. Other than that, catch me back here 2 weeks from today on the coffee hour at 10 a.m. Eastern. And we'll have coffee, and I hope you'll be here. Brian will be here with sports, latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And we'll have a lot of fun. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a safe and wonderful holiday weekend for Thanksgiving. And if you're traveling, please be very, very careful. In the meantime, this weekend, have a great day and a great weekend. And I will catch you all back here in 2 weeks. Take care of yourself. Bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host, Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer, Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.